Hey everyone, welcome here today and get ready for a roller coaster of a ride through sunshine, business twists, and unexpected North American drama. Picture this, you've been saving up for the perfect sunny getaway in South Florida, the turquoise water, the sizzling beach parties, the mouth-watering key lime pie. Then suddenly you hear that President Trump's statements about possible tariffs, travel registration, and even the wild idea of turning Canada into the 51st state are rattling travel plans. Confusing? Oh yeah. Intriguing? Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're diving into right now, so buckle up, friends, because the story's only getting started as we unravel how these plans are shaking up tourism and business. The moment you think you know where this is headed, there's another twist. And by the way, stick around, because at the very end, I've got something special for you, an inside scoop that not only ties up all the loose ends, but also makes sure you walk away from this video feeling a whole lot more prepared for your next vacation decision. The first wave of surprise hits like a tropical thunderstorm when you realize there's been an unexpected slip in the number of Canadian tourists arriving in South Florida. Yes, you heard me right. People who once flocked here to escape brutal winters and sloshy sidewalks are hitting the pause button. You might ask, why in the world would anyone skip a chance to bask in palm tree paradise? Well, the buzz says it's because of recent talk about tariffs. Think about it. If cross-border taxes get slapped on goods and services, even the best flight deals start looking less appealing. Not to mention the rumors swirling around about a potential travel registration system. Nobody wants extra paperwork just to dip their toes in the Atlantic. And then there's this bizarre chatter about annexation. Does that sound like something that belongs in a 21st century tourism pitch? Hardly. It's more like a plot twist in a late-night political thriller, and it's making Canadians reconsider that midwinter break in the tropics. Now, imagine being in the shoes of a longtime Florida enthusiast up north, weighing the cost of flights, possible new border rules, and the feeling that maybe you're not as welcome as you used to be. Makes you scratch your head, doesn't it? It's not just a hypothetical either. One day, you're standing in line to board a flight that used to be packed with excited families and retirees. The overhead compartments would be stuffed with beach hats, flip-flops, and the hum of chatter about what new local restaurant to try first. But now you notice the line has thinned out, the seats are open, and the atmosphere is oddly subdued. In fact, airline data shows a 20% drop in demand for flights from Canada to South Florida compared to last year. That is no small dip, folks. That's an iceberg-level shift. Passenger arrivals at the major airports are down by thousands in just a few months. You can almost feel the shockwave ripple through the tourism industry when you see plane seat capacity dropping 13% in April, 17% in May, and 15% in June. At another nearby airport, those numbers are even higher. The question is, how do sunny beaches suddenly get overshadowed by chilly politics? What's even more heart-wrenching is the ripple effect. You might spot it while sipping a smoothie at a local cafe, glancing around, and noticing fewer folks sporting the iconic Canadian maple leaf on their shirts or jackets. Many local businesses bank on these visitors, counting on their arrival every year like clockwork. There's a well-known ice cream parlor in the region that's used to greeting a long line of families escaping the northern winters. Lately, that queue is shorter. The manager quietly confides that the strong US dollar, rumors of added travel steps, and talk of expansion into a 51st state are creating enough confusion to keep Canadians at home. Imagine standing in your own store, your eyes darting hopefully to the door, waiting for that jovial accent to chime in, but it never comes. It's a little heartbreaking, especially when you think about how many friendships and cross-border traditions have flourished over decades of carefree vacations. Now, take that heartbreak and multiply it by the reality that the region normally welcomes about 1.1 million Canadian tourists annually. If a sizable chunk of them decide to stay away, you can guess what that means for Florida's economy. It's not just about flights and hotels. Think about restaurants, rental cars, boat tours, beachwear shops, nightclubs, and every other slice of that beloved tourism pie. If fewer people are coming in, fewer cocktails are being sipped poolside, fewer sun hats are being purchased, fewer tips are going to local service workers. You almost have to pause and think, how did talk from a political podium send such a ripple through an entire industry? And more importantly, what's next? Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you ever canceled a trip because the political headlines made you nervous or annoyed? It's always fascinating to hear real-life stories of how these broader issues trickle into everyday decisions. After all, your personal anecdotes might help someone else decide whether to sit this season out or jump on that plane to palm tree paradise. The repercussions don't stop at tourism. Business travel is feeling the pinch, too. Imagine you're a Canadian executive who regularly hops down to Florida for trade missions or conferences. Suddenly, things start feeling uncertain. You hear about potential tariffs that might complicate deals or even the idea of some drastically changed border regulation. So you hesitate. You postpone. You decide maybe this isn't the best time to strike new partnerships. And when a group of executives all do that at once, the economic connection between these two places takes a hit. Local conference centers notice fewer bookings. Hotels that bank on hosting large delegations see open rooms. You might think, well, a few canceled trips can't be that big a deal. But scale that up across an entire region and the numbers really start adding up. The synergy of business dealings, networking events, and new ventures fizzles when trust is shaken by big political announcements. That trust, once lost, can take ages to rebuild. Just when you think you felt enough tension, let's rewind and see if we missed something. Didn't all this chatter about tariffs and annexation revolve around President Trump making bold statements? Political theater can be mesmerizing, right? One day it's about forging new deals, the next day it's about doubling down on America First rhetoric. All these pronouncements can land like shockwaves in places you'd never anticipate, like a fun family restaurant in Florida worried about whether it'll see its usual group of regulars from Quebec. Humans are funny creatures. We can adapt quickly, but we can also be spooked quickly. So when daily headlines spell uncertainty, even the friendliest business owners start recalculating costs, adjusting staff hours, or scaling back expansions. And let's not forget the intangible toll, that creeping feeling in the back of people's minds that maybe the cross-border friendship isn't quite as sturdy as it once was. Of course, in many ways, the heartfelt ties remain strong, but it only takes a few doubts to make travelers look elsewhere. Then there's the sense of unpredictability fueling the emotional roller coaster. We've gone from airy talk of winter escapes to the gravity of economic ties, from the excitement of building new partnerships to the dread of canceled flights. You might be sitting there thinking, whoa, how is it that a few political conversations can shake the foundation of an entire tourist season? But that's the reality we're in. The Tourism Bureau points out that Canadian visitation had nearly climbed back to pre-pandemic levels, hovering just 20% under 2019 numbers. Momentum was building. Enthusiasm was returning. And then, like a gust of wind sweeping away a beach umbrella, the anticipation gets flattened by uncertainty. This is where a bit of positivity might come in handy. After all, tensions can blow over, policies can shift, and people can adapt. Yet, the question remains, how long will it take? Time is money, especially in the hospitality industry, and every day that seats go unfilled on planes or that hotel rooms remain vacant is revenue loss. Let's bring it all home and look at what this means for you. If you're a traveler thinking about heading south, knowledge is power. You've got your finger on the pulse of what might change at the border or how certain costs could shift. That can save you a headache and maybe even some cash. If you're a local business owner, now's the time to strategize. Perhaps look into ways to broaden your customer base or offer deals that cater to uncertain visitors. Communication is key. Letting people know they're welcome and that you're aware of the complications can go a long way. And if you're just an observer, well, the world is a complicated place, and what happens in the realm of politics can have real consequences for everyday folks. So keep your eyes on the headlines, but also keep a dose of optimism on hand. Things might get more intense before they calm down. Here's that final tip I promised. If you're planning to travel soon, be sure to check any new regulations, double-check ticket costs, and maybe book with flexible policies so you aren't trapped if things change last minute. These small steps can be game changers, saving you time and stress. Now that you've got the full story, complete with drama, heartbreak, and a little bit of hope, make sure to hit that subscribe button, click like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Are you personally affected by any of this? Are you planning a trip or postponing one? Did you see this coming? I read every comment and love hearing how these broader narratives weave into your personal life. After all, this channel is about making sense of the headlines that shape our world and helping you navigate them with just a bit more ease. Thanks for sticking with me through this wild ride, and I'll catch you next time with more insights, less stress, and hopefully a sunnier outlook for everyone who's itching to enjoy some southern sunshine. Safe travels, and remember, knowledge isn't just power, it's your best travel companion.